We are live.
We must have found the longest beginning part ever for Finn Balor.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry for the delay, some technical difficulties, but we are live. This is the War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com, first and only dating site for wrestling fans. You got Steve and Ryan, both from Tag Me a Date. Amanda's having some technical difficulties still. Kat's going to be taking some time off. Eric's working, and Vince is working, so it's just the two of us playing Finn Balor for significant reasons. If you watch Raw, all the rumors of Balor starting to get a big push is coming to fruition. We got a lot to cover. A lot has gone down since last week. Thank you for tuning in, as always. And Ryan, what's going on with you? How are things going?
Oh, not much. Just took a nap and kind of getting ready, back up and running. Jesus. Fuck it.
What the fuck are you doing over there?
Oh, moving.
So Amanda was able to access the chat. So if you want to chat with Amanda from Tag Me a Date and Wrestle Rumble, feel free. She will be live chatting. And she'll keep trying to get on, but we're having some errors going on with Amanda. She can't seem to get it on right now, but that's all right. We're gonna we got so much to cover that it should be all right. Ryan, I don't even know where to begin. I guess we got to start with Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I mean, God damn it. I don't think he was going to win at the Rumble anyway, unfortunately, based on everything we've been hearing in terms of what the idea was for Mania. So here's my thing, right? So the rumor mill says that he's not cleared to compete. That's one theory. But then I say to myself, right, he's not cleared to compete because of his shoulder injury, but he just ripped a car door off and flipped a limo, but he's not cleared. So clearly that's not it. And obviously they're using the destruction of the limo, of Vince's limo, as to why he was pulled from the match. Now I'm also hearing that the plan was always to have the match Finn versus Brock at the Royal Rumble, and it was never going to be Braun. That they used Braun to get people to want to buy into seeing the pay-per-view, which Finn Balor's a draw. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of bothers me in a way, but they were always going to switch it to Finn Balor, and that they weren't going to do Braun because they didn't want Braun to lose again to Brock Lesnar. So when the fuck is going to be Braun's time then would be my first question.
That is a good question. It should have been ages ago.
I mean,
I agree with him not losing again.
No, I do, and we would have been pissing and moaning that he lost again anyway, and I get it, but listen, I'm not at all upset about the fact that they're about to push Finn. At the same time, he's not going to win at the Rumble.
No.
I mean, unless
That's why I said last night that when the match went down, I wasn't too excited to see Finn Balor win.
Well, listen.
Because they'll never pull the trigger on him, let alone they didn't pull the trigger on Braun.
All right, I get that, but listen to me for a second.
Okay.
On Raw, a few weeks ago, the McMahons came out said that things are going to start changing. We're going to shake things up, right? Now you fast forward a few weeks, and this Raw changed everything.
Yeah.
I mean, a majority of your Rumble pay-per-view 2 weeks out. Now, and we'll get into a majority of that. However, with that, all that being said, I'm good with Finn, but he's gonna. Here's what I think. It gets me going because I think they're gonna switch gears. Everything we've been hearing is that they're gonna do Brock versus Rollins for the title at Mania. What if this monster push that we're starting to see Finn get is going to turn in to Finn Balor, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the title?
I'd be up for that.
That would be an outstanding match. And I got to be honest with you, I would get behind that a lot faster than I would seeing Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar again.
Yeah.
We have not seen Finn Balor, Seth Rollins in a long time. And on that stage, even if by some chance, because it's Mania, we get Demon.
Oh, that would be amazing to get Demon at Mania.
They're going to burn the fucking place down. So maybe they go that route. I'm hoping they go that route. I'm not looking forward to seeing Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins. Quite frankly, I'm okay with Brock Lesnar letting go of the title at the Rumble. Now, the other question is now, what do you do with Braun? As of right now, he's not at the pay-per-view at all.
Yeah.
Does he go into the Rumble? Does he win the Rumble? And now, does that change the landscape of WrestleMania? Maybe a triple threat with Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Braun Strowman. There's so many different things they can still do. You know, they haven't gotten to the point where they've locked themselves into a corner. You know, like now it opens up the landscape of possibilities, in my opinion. I'm just going to be curious to see which way they go. Are they truly going to start listening to the fans like they claim? Or are they going to still do, you know, the predictable things that we see and hear are coming?
I would definitely be up for Braun. Just what if you have him enter at 1? Iron Man it.
Say that again?
Enter as number 1.
Oh, Braun?
Yeah.
I mean, part of me says, okay, I could get behind that. The other part of me says, he just had major shoulder surgery. Do you want to take the chance of him going out there for an hour?
With how Reigns lasted the last couple Rumbles, he kind of just laid out there. So I think Braun could do something that... Or you could just have him scare half the people and he just stand in the corner.
And they just all like jump off out of the ring.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the good thing is, in my opinion, they're setting themselves up to really go in a bunch of different directions. It's really just going to depend on which way they decide to take it. You know what I mean? But I just I don't know. I'm excited because I truly don't think they're going to go the route of Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar now. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But I will say this too. I enjoyed the segment with Braun.
It was a good segment.
Right? Great segment. Braun ripping the car door off, then flipping the whole thing over. And then, of course, Vince being speechless at first. And then Vince is, I have to tell you, I am enjoying seeing Vince on a regular basis again.
The nonverbals with the limo driver and Vince was great.
It was great. It was a great segment. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought overall, I thought Raw was pretty good. And I got to be honest, I didn't hear as much bitching on social media as usual.
No, there really wasn't. Which is a good thing. I mean, it's been a while since we haven't heard the traditional. It was the worst Raw ever.
How were do we know anything about the ratings? How they were? Did they go up?
I didn't hear anything lately. I can check for that.
Yeah, pull up
I'm
some
sure
ratings.
they're up by now.
I would imagine. Yeah, and I would hope that the ratings have started to climb again.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can break the record low.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Well, no, listen, I mean, God forbid it could always go down to 0, which, I don't think would
It'd
ever
be kind of
happen.
hard to get there.
Well, listen, but they're starting to make, I think, some positive changes. So that was a great segment overall. I enjoyed it. And we're going to jump around Raw. We're going to go from the beginning to the end to the middle. We're going to just skip all over the place because the next thing we really got to touch on is what in the hell was WWE thinking by having Bobby Lashley win the IC title on Raw this week? I did not see that coming.
No, I didn't either. But it was kind of I had the Raw on Hulu, and it played the last week's Raw. It was kind of a just desserts that Bobby Lashley saved the title for Ambrose and then ended up winning it from him.
I don't know. What do you think? Because to me, I think that was a very poor decision to do.
No,
two weeks out.
I'd prefer at the Rumble, but it made some sense at least storyline wise.
Well, let me ask you this though: you'd be okay if it happened at the Rumble also?
I think so. I'd prefer at the Rumble, but
well, no. See, that's not my point. Like for me, I mean, I don't necessarily think that all title changes have to be at a pay-per-view. However, I'm a little annoyed at the fact that the title changed hands. Period. Whether it was Monday or the Royal Rumble, that title is starting to jump around like everyday underwear again. And then you're starting to lose the prestige of the title. I mean, you had Rollins, who just recently, within the last 30 days, lost it to Ambrose, and now Ambrose lost it to Lashley.
Yeah. Good point.
Something like the women's title used to be, where it was flip-flopping every fucking week.
Yeah. Let's see what they do with Lashley. If he holds on to it, then I'm hoping he'll hold on to it a little bit longer.
I would have to imagine they have to give Lashley a decent run. Otherwise, it's going to discredit his size and his whole deal.
Yeah. They need to.
And if he ever does lose it, it's going to be because of Leo Rush, and then that'll be the end of them.
He did great in the triple threat.
Who?
Leo Rush.
Yeah, he did.
I love the just keeping out of Rollins' reach.
He's talented. I just wish they'd keep the mic away from him.
He is great with getting heat. He is legitimately annoying.
Listen, he does his job. His job is to get heat, and he gets it. He does his thing. I can't take that away from him. So we had Bobby Lashley win the IC title.
Yep.
And then the surprise debut, Nikki Cross.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, I think she looked great. I don't think there was any sign of nervousness, even though I'm sure she was freaking out.
I don't think so much that she was on Smackdown.
Yeah, but you don't think Raw's a little different?
Main roster, I think the playing field's kind of level.
I just feel like, Raw is still considered to be the A show,
Yeah, and it's live, but I don't know. It seems like it wouldn't be too much of a stretch. Oh, yeah, SmackDown is live. Jeez.
Well,
sorry, Cobweb.
I'm also starting to hear that the brand split might be over soon. You starting to hear that?
I did hear that today.
I saw that today, too. I don't know the validity of it, but what do you think of that as a possibility?
It would be interesting considering what they were saying about SmackDown being on Fox and USA. The whole promoting if they condense the brands, Fox promoting Raw, that's on USA, and then USA promoting the Fox show.
Right. A lot of possibilities, my friend. A lot of possibilities.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm glad the tag titles aren't. You're not having a SmackDown Women's title and a Raw Women's title.
They are or they aren't?
They are. Because they announced that both SmackDown and Raw women will be competing for it.
Hey, she got on.
I made it.
What's up, Smiley? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Glad you made it.
Oh, yeah.
So I know you were listening, but we are pretty much we're kind of in the middle of the Bobby Lashley IC win, and what were they thinking 2 weeks before?
I guess maybe they really are looking to push Rollins into the title card.
Yeah.
Well, listen, everything they've been saying is that they were going to do Brock versus Rollins at Mania. And that is not a match that I particularly want to get behind. Yeah. With that being said, if they did Finn Balor or even Demon Finn versus Seth Rollins, that could potentially steal the show because those two will kill themselves, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm very one thing that I like what's going on, and I'm sure you heard Ryan and I saying, is that they are setting themselves up to go in 4 or 5 different directions. It's really just a matter of which way they want to go. So hopefully, listen, we can easily get Brock out of the title picture at the Rumble and let Finn, I mean, that would be a shock to everybody if Finn did come out as champion, especially since they just started saying they were going to give him this monster push. I don't think anybody would have expected him to win the title within 30 days of hearing this.
Yeah.
But do you think it's going to be regular Finn, or do you think he's going to come out as Demon Finn?
Oh.
I feel like he's only going to be believable to beat Brock as Demon Finn.
But I would love to see Demon Finn if Finn is going to win.
Yeah.
If he's not going to win, I'd rather have Demon Finn be undefeated on the main roster.
I mean, listen, I will never, ever be against the idea of Demon Finn. So, you know, hopefully he will. But, you know, who the hell knows? It's so rare now, you know, which in a way is kind of, it gets us talking, you know, will he come out as Demon?
Good point.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, Amanda, what is your take of this whole Bobby Lashley IC champion 2 weeks out of Royal Rumble?
I definitely think they're just trying to stir things up and really get things changed. I don't think he's going to be holding the title for long. But I just think that they need to get new people into each title position.
You don't think at this point they would give Bobby Lashley a significant title reign, since in a matter of 30 days you had Seth lose it to Dean and now Dean just lost it to Lashley?
What if they're
people will react so poorly? He's just so blah.
I know. I can't argue with you. What was I, Ryan?
What if they're setting up Lashley for Lesnar down the road?
Well, they always talked about, wasn't that like a part of what made Lashley sign, was that they promised him a match with or a feud with Lesnar. I think that was supposed to have happened already, but
yeah. Maybe SummerSlam? What if he holds down the IC belt till then, or a little bit before then, and have Brock cost him it?
It's definitely a possibility. I mean, like I said, with everything that's going on right now and all the changes that they're starting to make, anything is possible right now. You just kind of don't know which direction they're going to take things, and I'm kind of okay with that.
Could you imagine how far Lesnar could toss Lilo Rush?
He'd probably throw him into the third row.
Yeah.
Like Bam Bam did to Spike Dudley in ECW.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Just have him just German him into the third row.
So, all right. So we talked about Nikki Cross. I thought she had an outstanding showing. It was a nice surprise. One of the funniest moments. Well, all right. So a moment of bliss. First of all, I love the segment. I'm glad they're doing it. I think she's great on the mic.
Yes.
So I love it.
Let's talk about the segment right before where they walked in on her getting dressed.
Okay, fair enough. I will never not want to talk about a naked Alexa Bliss in the locker room. That was very Attitude Era-esque, don't you think?
Very.
It was, but it was so poorly executed.
Very. Because she's already looking at the door and she's already like
covering up.
Right. Like there should have been a way to do it without showing anything but her like grabbing a towel or, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt too scripted.
Oh, it was very scripted.
Which is ironic coming from a scripted show.
Yeah, that's true. So, Amanda, that wasn't your favorite part?
No. Especially, why do that right before you're going to announce women's tag team titles? What?
Yeah, it kind of was a weird turnaround.
Well, now that's a great segue. So, moment of bliss. She announces that at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, they will crown the first ever women's tag team champions, and they debuted the titles. I think they look great. What is your guys' opinion?
Awesome. Even though they say tab, but whatever.
They did it on TV, though.
But the picture that they showed, it literally says tab.
Yeah, that was so weird because you said that, and I was watching the segment because I was a little behind, and I paused and I got up to the TV, and it definitely was a G on TV. But in that picture, you're right, and I never even. I guess the mind kind of just plays tricks on you. I just kind of assumed.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those mind over matter things where I swear it's a tag, but it's definitely
it's like
tab.
Is the dress blue and black or gold and yellow?
Right, exactly. So that was cool. So they finally announced when that's going to go down. So I'm excited to see how that plays and how they're going to do it. I because we're going to see some new teams too now.
Yeah.
We'll see some new women get together. So that opens up a whole nother playing field. The only part of that segment, and then of course you have an outstanding promo with Paul Heyman, as always.
He is Paul Heyman.
But the end, it was very funny with the guy from Heavy Machinery. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. That was absolutely hilarious where he kind of just stumbled out into the segment. But the segment ended very abruptly. If you go back and look, it almost appeared to me like Heyman was kind of annoyed. Now, I don't know if that was supposed to be or if he was kind of like, what the fuck, the segment's over, and he just walked to the back, and then she followed.
Mm-hmm.
Heyman's very good at being in script and actually coming off as real.
Heyman's good at everything he does.
Yeah.
Remember JR saying that people actually felt like him and Heyman hated each other.
Yeah. And now we can officially say that Ronda Rousey is a Heyman girl. She is now officially working with Paul Heyman behind the scenes on promo work and everything else. So that's going to be awesome.
Couldn't ask for a better person to work with.
Oh, without question.
I don't know why more people just don't go under Paul Heyman's tree to work with. As the go on, sorry.
I don't know how much of it is Heyman approaches them or they approach Heyman. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, Heyman's got to want to see. Heyman's got to see something in you to want to, bless you with his knowledge.
I don't know. I agree with that. But it seems like more people would try to get knowledge from him.
I sure as hell would, I'll tell you that.
Just pick his brain.
So, what else? What else went down on Raw? All right, so let's talk about the tag team match with Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks, and then what happened afterwards. I saw a tweet from Justin LaBar shortly after that segment, and I could not agree more with what he said in his tweet. And it was something along the lines of, I really don't like watching the baddest bitch on the planet running after her opponent, trying to be friends with her, and like sad that this is going on. Like, you're supposed to be the baddest bitch on the planet. You're the champ. Beat her ass. Like, Ronda should have fucking laid out Sasha, and get this thing going. Like, Ronda's trying to be everyone's friend, and at the end of the day, when the title's on the line, it's about the title. There are no friends.
Yeah.
I agree with that completely.
I hate when they do that. I hate when they put 2 weeks or a week before they put their opponents as a tag team.
Yeah, I do too. Because you already know, like, one's gonna walk out on the other, or the turn on them. I mean, it's just, it's almost like a contract signing. Something's going down. It's not gonna just be a contract.
It's gonna turn into a Pier 6 brawl, and some feelings are gonna get hurt. And
well, fuck feelings. It's the wrestling business.
You know what I'm saying? Like it.
No, I know.
Some little slight mix-up, and then they're gonna end up Pier 6.
What else? Anything else really significant that we should talk about from Raw?
What about EC3 debuting?
Well, did he really debut?
Or kind of.
Like,
did I miss something? Because as far as I know, he just was in the camera shot, but
didn't he have like a backstage something?
Did he cut a promo backstage? Did I
From what I heard, yeah. I think I thought I missed it too, but that's what I was hearing.
I'm gonna have to go back and look. Maybe I went to take a piss and I missed it. I don't know, because I don't remember. I remember seeing him in a shot, but I thought it was just kind of
significant. You just kind of was like, "Hey, I'm here."
Well, so listen, we're talking about EC3. We're talking about Nikki Cross. We're talking about Heavy Machinery. We're starting to see all these people that they said were coming up. So we really should then talk about Lars Sullivan and a pretty sad state of affairs from what we're understanding. If everything that we're hearing is accurate, he was already supposed to have debuted on Raw and SmackDown, and he had an anxiety attack backstage at Raw, where they did not use him, and then instead of using him on SmackDown, they sent him home. And apparently, from what I'm hearing, is WWE has had no contact with him since he went home. He has not reached out to them. He was lined up for a big money match at Mania with John Cena, where you would imagine he would have gone over on John Cena. So a big deal, and that may all be in jeopardy now. And I'm also hearing that Vince McMahon is putting the blame on Triple H, because Triple H is the one that pushed to bring Lars to the main roster. So he's putting this on him, and apparently is very pissed off about it. What are your guys' thoughts? Is there anything else you guys have heard that I didn't cover? Because this is an ever-breaking, every day I'm hearing a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what I just got updated on today, was that he just kind of went off the radar. There's rumors that he got released as well.
Oh, wow.
I mean, listen. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, I guess I understand like how if the WWE was mad that he's not responding to them if they are reaching out to him, but at the same time, like dealing with mental health issues is a huge struggle, and I think maybe they should just give him a little bit more time. But
mental health is a horrible disease that is a very real thing, and people that shit on it and say it's bullshit and this and that, if you've ever even known somebody that has anxiety attacks and have seen it firsthand, I have. You know, and it's a real thing and it's a real problem. You know, I'm hoping that if the rumor is true, I have not personally heard that he was released. If that rumor does come to be true, I hope it's that they're releasing him because he needs to get some help before he can return, and that they're not angry with him. Because even if he's not responding, that could still be somewhat related to the anxiety attack. And, you know, most importantly, he needs to get some help and he needs to talk to somebody. He's a young guy. The business isn't going anywhere. He can always come back. I think it'll be interesting to see if they take him out of that promo going further about, you know, all the people on the way.
I have a hard time seeing them not do that if they're not going to push him up into and it's rough. I mean, how many more times are you going to get a match at Mania with Cena?
Listen, probably not too many because
not blaming them, obviously.
Oh no, but I'm just saying because I mean, listen, it's only going to be so much longer before Cena really wraps it up.
Yeah, I was just differentiating, actually putting blame on him and going, "Oh, the situation stinks."
Yeah. Do you remember what source it was where you heard that he had been released?
It was unverified. It just was rumor mill.
I have a couple that I somewhat trust, and I'm just.
I mean, I could see it if he's not responding and. They could just release them to go, hey, you got to deal with this. We can't. Mm-hmm. We're trying to help you, and you're not responding. So go find help. We'll be here.
Oh, so this is interesting. We had talked briefly earlier. We were going to try and check to see if the ratings were out.
Yep.
I have it.
There we go.
Raw drew an average of 2.722 million viewers, way up from last week's 2.324, and the highest since early September. So that's pretty damn good. They actually broke it down hour by hour. Hour one was 2.775 million. Hour two went up to 2.781, and hour three went down to 2.610 million. But it doesn't surprise me that it goes down because the young kids that are watching are probably not watching the 10 to 11 hour.
Yeah. Also, 3 hours is still long to watch anything.
It is, but you know what? If it's booked right and it keeps you entertained, it's not as bad. And I thought
I'm not saying that.
Well, no, but listen, I'm always one of the ones that are always I'm against the 3 hour deal. I think it is too long, but if it is booked right, it doesn't necessarily feel like 3 hours. So, and that's what I mean. And you know, I mean, but listen, if they went down to 2 hours, although now if they are going to get rid of the brands and they're going to put them all together, then I think they have to keep 3 hours. Otherwise, you're never going to see, you know, half the roster.
Some other people, yeah. That's one thing I never minded about having the split brand is some people will, like, I know Amanda will hate it, but the giving a chance at Jinder Mahal's and
stop that.
He's the perfect example of
watch your mouth.
Never getting a chance without having the brand split.
Yeah.
Don't hinder the Jinder.
It will always hinder the Jinder.
She hinders the Jinder.
Always.
Always hindering that ginger. But yeah, how many, like, I don't know.
All right, so hold on real quick. So this is updated as of today about Lars.
Okay.
Lars Sullivan has been in the news for much of last week. He missed multiple events that he was scheduled, as noted, over the weekend after initially talking to WWE early last week. Sullivan has not been heard from since, and it has now been reportedly caused WWE to change at least one planned segment for him. WWE had planned to tape an angle where Lars was going to beat up Cena to begin their Mania storyline. Segment was supposed to air next week as Lars' official debut, but Vince pulled the plug either this morning or late last night. Unclear whether or not this means that they're going to scrap the storyline entirely. They don't know yet. And that's it. But nothing in here about him getting released. And I think if he was released, I think we would be hearing it everywhere.
Yeah. You'd think, at least, if...
I mean, listen, it's a big story.
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy that, before he debuted, was already being booked to face John Cena at WrestleMania. Like, that's a big fucking deal. And you got to imagine he was going to be booked to go over on John, because you can't bring this guy in the way they've been booking his promos and everything to have him lose. And if you notice,
but you could say that about Bray Wyatt's and everybody that's seen as.
I think Bray Wyatt's going to make his return at the Rumble.
So I love it. I'm not completely against Cena beating Bray back at Mania. I'm just saying that you could make that same case that there's no way that.
Well, listen, and not for nothing, Cena's been taking some L's lately, including last night on Raw.
And then put over Balor on the mic.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
I'd say not too often that Cena goes that far out to push someone on the take the L in, then put him on the mic.
Yeah, I agree. So Amanda, I know you had some questions, comments come through on your Instagram.
Yes, I had two. So one was, what is your favorite memory from watching wrestling?
Oh, my earliest memory?
Not your earliest, just your favorite.
Oh, my favorite memory. As a kid or throughout my whole life?
In general. You could do both.
I mean, that's so fucking hard, to be honest with you, because, I mean, listen, over the years, there have been so many amazing moments. I mean, I would have to say one of my personal favorite moments was I went to WrestleMania 10 at Madison Square Garden, and I got to be there for the first ever ladder match and the first ever Intercontinental title ladder match against Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels.
Nice.
I also got to see The Undertaker, Yokozuna in a casket match at WrestleMania 10. I got to see Macho Man Randy Savage take on Crush in a Falls Count Anywhere match. I got to see Mr. Perfect be a special guest referee and Rowdy Piper be a special guest. So, I mean, I got to see Bret Hart beat Owen Hart.
Seeing Macho Man wrestle is something I wish I could have seen.
Yeah.
I've been very blessed in my life that I've gotten to see Savage, Warrior, Hogan, Taker a million times. I mean, and the list goes on. But that's one of my personal favorite memories is WrestleMania 10 because it was my first Mania. And I mean, if you were listening to the lineup of who was there, it was just incredible.
Absolute legends, everyone.
Yeah. I would have to say one of my other favorite moments, and then I'll pass it over to you guys. One of my other favorite moments, again, because I was there live, was when The Undertaker returned as the Dead Man. He had been the American Badass, and then he was gone for a while, and he came back as the Dead Man with the long hair and everything. I was there live. Yeah, and that was
that's
incredible.
so awesome.
And actually, one other thing, again, because I was there live. I was there live for the return of Triple H after his initial quad tear.
Oh,
And
goddamn, that was awesome.
you could hear the entire place vibrating. It was so loud you can hear it on the streets in Hartford. It was the most unbelievable experience ever.
That is my favorite return.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you knew they were promoting he was returning that night. And I mean, the chants for Triple H started an hour before they went live. The place was already packed. People weren't getting souvenirs and shit. People were already at their seats chanting for Triple H.
That reminds me of when I was at Survivor Series and they were chanting for Goldberg at the NXT show at the TakeOver event.
Yep. Got to be similar.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Not
you?
as fervent, but still good Goldberg chant going.
Oh, hey, listen, anything Goldberg.
Yeah.
What about you, Amanda?
So one of my younger memories, I must have been like maybe 6 or 7, and one of my dad's friends worked for TSN, and he had gotten us backstage passes.
Oh, that's so cool.
I got to meet the Undertaker.
How was that?
I was a kid.
Yeah, you got a dish.
Were
you terrified?
I was terrified, and I told him that because he was like dressed up, and I told him, I'm like, you're so scary. And then he did the like eye roll thing, and I started crying. And
that is amazing.
So
did he feel bad? Like, did he show any kind of remorse?
Yeah, when I started crying, he felt bad.
That's so funny. You got the Undertaker to feel bad.
You made him break character.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is amazing. You got another one?
I got to see WCW Mayhem live, and I got to see Bret Hart beat Chris Benoit.
Oh.
Awesome.
Okay. I got another one. WrestleMania 20.
That triple threat?
Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero both won the titles that night and then celebrated in the ring. I was 10 rows from the ringside.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Now I remember I went to go see that WrestleMania in theaters.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is awesome.
Because they used to do that. I remember for pay-per-view, they used to show it at, like, movie theaters. And
I wish they would have done that here.
Yeah.
It's one of the few manias I ordered back in the day. But that triple threat was just amazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, back then, I mean, from what I remember, there was never a pay-per-view where any match you were like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, every match was just a home run. Every story came to a conclusion, and it was just, you know what I mean?
It was the perfectly booked pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like kicking off with John Cena and Big Show for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Getting to see Cena take the initial star rise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. We got another one? You said there were 2?
Yes, hold on 1 second.
Can I throw in mine?
Technique.
Oh yeah, Ryan, go ahead. I thought you did.
It was my first Raw moment. I got to watch my first introduction to Monday Night Raw was the infamous Mick Foley title win.
No shit, you were there?
No, that's my first one I watched.
Okay.
That was my introduction to wrestling.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bro, I was in college.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was in grade school.
So old. Oh my God, he was in grade school. Oh my God.
I had people over to watch Monday Night Football, and they're like, "Let's watch some of that wrestling."
Those are good friends.
I got hooked with Mick Foley segment with Shane McMahon, like the Triple H match, and leading into him threatening to break Shane's arm to get the title match later on Raw to win.
Wow. I'll tell you, you know what officially got me hooked on wrestling? The first thing I ever saw, I was flipping through the channels, I'll never forget it, and the first thing I saw was Mean Gene Okerlund doing a backstage interview with Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
And I listened to this promo, and I never stopped watching from that day forward.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan had me hooked. I mean, I was begging my mom for the Hulk Hogan weight set. I mean, I was Hulk Hogan. Man,
you were saying your prayers and taking your vitamins
every fucking night. I mean, it was amazing. It was, I mean, that just drew me in. I hook, line, and sinker for the rest of my life. That was it. I was hooked. I mean, you know, and then shortly after that, I'm watching Jake the Snake Roberts' Cobra gnawing on Savage's arm with Elizabeth crying. I mean, it was just such a great time to be a fan of wrestling. Fucking Shawn Michaels throwing Jannetty through a fucking window and saying,
and then you get the Attitude Era.
Oh, man, it was just such a... And that's why I'm so excited for All Elite Wrestling, because I think this is the next shot we got at seeing somewhat of a war.
Yeah.
They've reached out to CM Punk, by the way.
Yes, I heard that.
I don't know what to think about that.
I mean, question is, would he even say yes?
Yeah, but like the last couple months of CM Punk in WWE, you could tell he wasn't motivated.
Yeah, but this is so different. This is so different.
And he clearly does not have a career in UFC.
No,
that's for
It
sure.
would be very hard to say that he has a career in UFC.
He would be a main event guy for them.
Easily.
Yeah. You know?
It'd be great to see him in Rhodes, him in Omega.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very hard time seeing Omega go to WWE.
Well, listen, we still don't know anything yet, so don't kill the dream.
No, I'm not killing the dream. It's just, you could go with your buddies, or you could be the top guy, and the money's there, so it's not like there's a huge disparity between WWE and AEW with money.
I get what you're saying, but there's something to be said about working for the WWE. You got to think.
I agree.
Kenny Omega, a part of him, has always wanted the opportunity to wrestle for WWE. You just have to imagine that's, you know.
Yeah, they're still having that main event Mania match. I'm sure if Punk had that opportunity, he still would jump at it.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the very few things he wanted, was to be able to main event Mania.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Amanda? You think he's gonna? Which way do you think he's gonna go?
Honestly, don't know, because there's so many factors that can bring him to both sides.
So true.
Like he fits perfectly in either or, and whatever decision he makes, he's gonna succeed and be the best in whatever promotion he goes with.
I'm kind of hoping for AEW just for another name to, so they can reach that next level and get past the failures of Impact.
I'm kind of torn on that, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Omega comes to WWE, you're going to see him a lot.
Yeah.
He goes to AEW, initially anyway, we're not going to see him as often because right now they don't even have a TV deal. They're working on one, and I'm confident that they're going to get one. But they don't have one as of right now. You bring him to Raw or SmackDown, you're going to get to see him every week.
Yeah.
Well, Jericho was saying that he wouldn't have signed with AEW if there wasn't a TV deal in play.
Who said that?
Jericho.
Well, listen, you know there's a TV deal in play, but they haven't signed anything yet. And even if they do sign a TV deal, is it going to be weekly? Is it going to be monthly? You know, who knows?
Yeah. I'm assuming it would be weekly. Monthly would be a little hard to. I mean, traditionally, unless you're. Well, TNA did that, right? For a while.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
It's possible.
Just you change up the booking. Could work. But you'd also need a big name like Omega to have it work.
You know what? You do and you don't. This is an opportunity to highlight people that you don't know.
True.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm saying it's just easier to get people in the door with big names.
I hear that there's some interest in Santana Garrett, which I'm happy to hear because I'm a big fan of hers.
Yeah, I did hear that as well.
I'm a fan.
I'm not too familiar with the name. That's why I didn't bring it up.
What, Santana?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart. I did a show with her, too, and she was actually at my table signing. And so I sat with her
That's very cool.
for a while, and she was a sweetheart. Very nice. Very cool.
It's always great to hear the stars are very nice instead of just complete jerks.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So was that it, Amanda, or was there anything else?
Then your favorite wrestling technique.
Favorite wrestling technique? I don't know how to answer that question.
Probably favorite move. They're just trying to class it up with scoring technique.
My favorite move, I would have to say, is the RKO.
Me too.
I'd go stunner or the go to sleep. I love the whole, pantomiming the go to sleep.
Those are both good ones. The RKO, you can do it out of nowhere, and it's just, it's quick.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's the diamond cutter, the stunner, same. You can hit it from anywhere. It looks great.
Yep.
I love the tombstone, like the tombstone pile driver Undertaker and Kane made popular.
Tombstone is always a good one.
I also really like the curb stomp.
Yeah, that is.
I think it's a really badass move.
I happen to agree with you very much.
The curb stomp into a RKO is still one of my favorite spots.
Yes.
My favorite spot of all time is Evan Bourne getting caught with an RKO.
Yeah, that was great. Or Shelton Benjamin getting caught with the Sweet Chin Music and off the
Shawn Michaels.
Yep. Yeah. No, I was going to say off the ropes.
I'm with you on that too. That was a good spot. There have been so many over the years. If you guys have sent questions to the email, Kat is the one with the access, and she's got some things going on, so unfortunately she won't be with us for a little while. She will be back. So if you want to be a part of the show, if you want an opportunity for a free pick into the Wrestle Rumble, this time the Royal Rumble Pick'em contest, send in a question or comment to hashtag Ask the War Report and tag me a date on the response, or the lovely Amanda. You can do her Instagram, which we get a lot of questions from. Also on Twitter. So send them in, questions, comments. The best one gets the free entry. And Amanda, what are the prizes for the Rumble? Are we? I think they've been putting them out there now, right?
Yeah. So first prize is $1,000.
Who could not use $1,000?
Right?
Wow.
I don't think there's anybody in the sound of our voice that couldn't use $1,000.
Seriously. And what's number 2?
$500, I believe.
All right.
Is that
not too shabby?
I will pull that up.
And then what's the third place prize?
Hold on, I am getting you this info.
I have it pulled up.
Okay.
Third prize, second place is 100, third 100, fourth place 50, fifth place 50.
So either way, if you win top 5, you get some cash. And how much is it if you didn't win the free entry through the War Report podcast? How much would it cost you for one entry into the Rumble?
It is $10.
$10. So $10.
$10.
You can win
$20
$1,000.
and 5 entries for 20.
5 entries for 20, and you can win
No, 30.
$1,000.
5 is 30, 3 is 20.
All right, cool. 30 for
Still good
$1,000.
chances.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you something. If you've ever played any kind of pick'ems anywhere else, nobody does it better than the Wrestle Rumble.
No.
You go in there, you will need to designate about 45 minutes of your time to fill out this entry form because they go into detail. I'm talking you need to pick the order that you think all 30 superstars are going to come out and so much more. So it's a lot of fun. You get creative. And if you do 5, you can do it 5 different ways and still have a chance to win 1,000 or 500 or 150 or 50. It's ridiculous. WrestleLocal.com. Huh?
Oh, I said it is ridiculous. I make our list and it's nothing compared to theirs.
We like
and the Rumble's the hardest one.
Oh.
Yeah, no, and I'm happy we keep ours complex, so don't get any ideas, Ryan, because I don't have 45 minutes.
No, oh man, the idea of doing that is just insane.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, it's almost top of the hour. We're almost getting ready for Smackdown Live. Do we know anything what's going on tonight? We got Shane and the Miz.
Miz is throwing Shane I thought it was a birthday party.
That will be hilarious, I'm sure.
We also have Mysterio and Adrius. I'm slaughtering his name. I'm terrible with that.
Almas?
Yeah, Almas.
I'm okay with that.
Miz is throwing Shane the best birthday bash in the world.
That's going to be awesome.
We also got Carmella versus Sonya Deville.
Okay.
And Daniel Bryan, they're teasing what Daniel Bryan will do to beat AJ Styles.
All right. So looks like SmackDown's going to be interesting tonight.
Should be.
So I guess that'll be it. We'll start to wrap things up. Amanda, you got anything you want to add before we close out?
No, I'm good.
Ryan, how about you?
Nope. I think we covered everything.
All right. Awesome. Well, this has been the War Report. We are live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on the Tag Me a Date YouTube channel. Head over to the YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the bell. You'll get notified every time that we go live. And if you missed the show, you'll find the link. It'll be all over our social media. You can click it, or you can just go right to our YouTube channel. It will be up shortly for viewing. Thank you for tuning in. The apps are coming. I promise. I swear we're going to make the announcement shortly. We're just working out a couple minor little things, but we are very close, and we might just make the announcement next week. So, it's possible. There's a chance we might make the announcement.
Tune in, check it out.
So tune in and check it out. Thank you for joining us. We will see you here next week on our YouTube channel. Enjoy SmackDown Live.